electricity tariff and rebates to be revised every 6 months. Malaysia prepared to deal with threats posed by North Korea. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News at 10. The Election Commission EC requires time and space to fully prepare for the implementation of the automatic voter registration and 18-year-old voting age. Minister at the Prime Minister's Department of Parliament and Law, Datuk Seri Taqiyuddin Hassan, suggested that all parties related to the implementation of lowering the voting age eligibility to 18 years old to give room to the EC. He explained that there are numerous procedures that must be completed before the implementation can be made possible. This includes managerial affairs involving the National Registration Department.
Selagi tak selesai alamat, kampung, jalan mana, itu tak boleh. Nanti ada orang terdaftar tak boleh mengundi. Ataupun dia sepatutnya mengundi sini, tiba-tiba mengundi sini. So itu antara benda-benda. Yang kedua, kalau di peringkat persekutuan, perlembagaan persekutuan dipindah untuk menurunkan umur calon parlimen. Untuk calon adun, kerajaan negeri perlu pindah perlembagaan negeri. Isunya sekarang ini, adakah semua kerajaan negeri telah memindah?
Datuk Taqiyuddin reiterated that the EC is an independent body that is not influenced by the government. The issue regarding the lowering of voting age to 18 years old surfaced after the EC chairman informed that automatic registration and voting eligibility can only be done after the 1st of September next year. The tariff rates and electricity rebates in the country will be restudied once every 6 months. According to Energy and Natural Resources Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Shamsul Anwar Nasara, the re-evaluation duration will begin in June after it was last conducted in December 2020. He explained that any decision and change made will take into account various aspects such as the laments of the public as well as issues faced by the rakyat throughout the implementation of the Movement Control Order MCO.
Bila kita umumkan pada Disember lalu, ia memberi manfaat kepada lebih daripada 7 juta pengguna domestik, iaitu di rumah-rumah di Semenanjung. Begitu juga kebaikan diberikan kepada sektor industri komersial. Jadi untuk rebate dan tarif akan datang kita akan kaji selepas 6 bulan daripada apa yang kita buat. Itu peraturan yang sedia ada yang kita amalkan sejak dulu, sejak 2014 kalau saya tak silap.
He also said the ministry has its rules and mechanisms to be followed in determining the tariff and electricity rebates. Commenting on the assembly of smart meters, Datuk Seri Dr. Shamsul Anwar said it will be continued as there are many benefits to increasing the efficiency and capabilities of the electric meter. To date, its use is still in its early stages and is an innovation that can benefit all users. The government is fully prepared and has made all the necessary arrangements following a statement with elements of threat made by Sergeant d'Affaires of the North Korean Embassy, Kim Yu-song, last week. Kim said that Malaysia had to bear the consequences of its action by prosecuting North Korean people. According to Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein On, the government is already aware of the matter and reminded all Malaysian embassies abroad to be ready for any untoward incident. He also reaffirmed Malaysia's stance over the extradition of the North Korean as it was carried out according to international law.
Kita bertegas dan berdiri teguh kepada integriti dan kedudukan kita sebagai sebuah negara yang berdaulat. Apa dia nak ugut lah. Yang penting kita membuat keputusan kita bersandarkan kepada undang-undang, bukan saja undang-undang negara, tapi undang-undang antarabangsa.
Commenting on the possibility of restoring diplomatic ties between the two countries, the foreign minister said it depends on the bilateral relations between Malaysia and North Korea in the future. Recently, the government ordered all diplomatic staff of the North Korean embassy in Kuala Lumpur and their dependents to leave Malaysia, as it was compelled by the North Korean government's decision to close the Malaysian embassy in Pyongyang over the extradition of its citizen to the United States. Malaysia logged 1,302 new COVID-19 infections today, bringing the total confirmed cases in the country to 341,994. Sarawak tops the new infections number today with 426 cases, followed by Selangor at 256 and Johor at 176. From the new figure, only 9 are imported cases and the rest are local infections. Meanwhile, 1,127 patients were discharged from health facilities and hospitals nationwide in the last 24 hours, pushing the number of total recoveries from COVID-19 virus to 326,309, thus leaving 14,380 active cases in the country, where 169 individuals are currently receiving treatment in the intensive care unit ICU, and 16 of them requiring ventilator support. 4 new deaths detected today, where 2 of them were reported in Sarawak and 1 each in Selangor and Kedah. Malaysia's current death tally due to the coronavirus currently stands at 1,225. A total of 3 new clusters emerged in the last 24 hours and 14 others were declared as inactive, leaving 381 active clusters in the country. School management as well as parents are reminded to always prioritize the aspects of Standard Operating Procedure (SOP) compliance to curb the spread of COVID-19. According to Senior Minister for Education, Dr. Muhammad Radzi Jidin, emphasis on the aspects are important to ensure a safe environment in schools nationwide. There has been growing concerns that the pandemic threat has begun to breach into schools.
Dalam konteks COVID-19 ini, seperti mana saya jelaskan sebelum ini, sekiranya berlaku apa-apa, kita merujuk kepada pusat kesihatan daerah. Pusat kesihatan daerah merupakan pakar, mereka tahu, mereka melaksanakan penilaian risiko. Jadi apa saja pandangan, apa saja nasihat yang diberi oleh pusat kesihatan daerah, kami di KPM akan mematuhi nasihat tersebut demi untuk memastikan keselamatan anak-anak.
Previously, the Health Ministry has reported 15 clusters involving education institutes, including 11 infection clusters in secondary schools and preschools, as well as 10 in primary schools. These cases were detected in the first 84 days of the school session this year. A total of 566,200 individuals in the country have received the COVID-19 vaccination under the National COVID-19 Immunization Program as of yesterday. Health Minister Dr. Adam Baba said of the total, 448,187 individuals had received the first dose of the vaccine, while 118,013 people had completed the full vaccination regimen. In the information shared on Dr. Adam's official Twitter account today, Selangor recorded the highest number of individuals who have received the first dose at 63,675, followed by Perak 49,545, Sabah 42,018, Kuala Lumpur 39,633, Sarawak 36,972 and Johor 34,000. Meanwhile, Sarawak recorded the highest number of individuals who have completed the full vaccination regimen at 15,135, followed by Pahang 12,283, Kelantan 11,411, Selangor 11,370, Kuala Lumpur 10,890, Perak 9,760 and Johor 8,935. Currently, the number of registrations for the National Immunization Program as of yesterday stands at 7,161,178, with Selangor recording the highest number of registrations at 1,979,666, or 40.8%. Langkawi MP Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad received his second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at the Langkawi Sports Complex earlier today. The vaccine jab was administered by Kuah Health Clinic Nurse Supervisor Rasmi at 2 p.m. Also receiving the second dose was his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasma Muhammad Ali, and 22 other health workers in Langkawi. Tun Dr. Mahathir and Tun Dr. Siti Hasma has received their first dose earlier on the 7th of March. Commenting on the tourism industry in Langkawi, Tun Dr. Mahathir said Langkawi is now safe for domestic tourists following implementation of strict security at all of its main entry points. This is further reinforced by the fact that over 20% of the island residents have been vaccinated.
Tapi Langkawi selama ini saya fikir kurang terjangkit. Kalau angka untuk Kedah tak termasuk Langkawi. Jadi saya berpendapat bahawa kita boleh buka Langkawi ini. Tinggal lagi orang yang datang ke Langkawi ini, kalau datang daripada tempat yang masih ada lockdown, mereka perlu diperiksa dulu.
The Johor state government is considering to buy COVID-19 vaccines to speed up the vaccination jabs process and open up the Johor-Singapore border to stimulate the state's economic recovery. Johor Investment, Cooperatives, Entrepreneurship Development and Human Resource Committee Chairman Dato' Muhammad Izhar Ahmad said the matter had already been discussed in the state exco meeting recently. Dato' Muhammad Izhar said the vaccines are expected to cost quite a lot, but the benefits it would bring to 3 million Johorians outweigh the cost.
Jikanya vaksin ini adalah menjadikan satu perkara utama, menjadikan satu syarat untuk membolehkan kita buka pintu sepadan, itu yang kami dan semua bersetuju. Sekiranya yang second dose tu sekiranya kita lambat dapat ataupun banyak nak tunggu giliran satu Malaysia, jadi kita akan cari jalan usahakan untuk membeli benda tu dari atas kapasiti negeri.
An enhanced movement control order EMCO will be imposed on the Pusat Jagaan Rohania Sekolah Integrasi Ikhwan Pasir Putih, Kelantan from tomorrow until 11th of April. Meanwhile, the EMCO implemented at Tapah Prison in Batang Padang, Perak, which was scheduled to end tomorrow, will be extended from 30th March to the 12th of April. For the Pusat Jagaan Rohania, Senior Minister for Security, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, said the decision was made following the sudden rise in the number of positive COVID-19 cases, with 25 cases recorded in the locality. As for the extension of the EMCO in Tapah Prison, the Health Ministry confirmed that there are still COVID-19 infections involving detainees, with the last 27 positive cases reported on the 25th of March. However, the surge in the cases does not involve members and family members living in the prison staff quarters. Coming up, Johor cops uncover heroin lab, make over 1 million ringgit bust. The Economic Planning Unit, EPU, has started receiving a list of proposals to draft the 2022 budget. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Economy, Dato' Sri Mustafa Mohamad, said the next process now is to draft the 2022 budget commencing in April until August.
Kita akan dalam 2-3 minggu lagi kita akan mula menghalusinya. Bulan 8 kita akan muktamad, kita akan berunding dengan Kementerian Kewangan kerana Kementerian Kewangan akan menentukan berapa peruntukan yang dapat dibelanjakan untuk pembangunan tahun 2022.
Dato' Sri Mustafa was speaking at a media conference after the Malaysia Prihatin program at the Dewan Tuanku Chancellor University Malaysia Kelantan UMK in Bachot today. The program, organised by the Prime Minister's Department in collaboration with the Kelantan government, was an initiative to inform the people in stages of the importance of the management of the COVID-19 pandemic towards the national economic recovery process. Commenting further, the minister said that some of the applications which had been received involved allocations to improve infrastructure nationwide. There is no need to immediately issue a fine. Instead, take a more advocative approach and advise wrongdoers first. These are the comments by Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong regarding the exhaust modification issues.
Dan saya ingin maklumkan bahawa pihak MOT telah buat satu keputusan dan saya sendiri dah maklumkan kepada KPJPJ bahawa pada peringkat ini lebih elok tumpukan kepada pendekatan advokasi daripada kita ambil saman terus. Dan sebab itulah kalau penguasaan yang dibuat oleh JPJ pada peringkat ini hanya notis 114 sahaja yang dikeluarkan untuk notis untuk temu siasat, ya, bertemu siasat dan dengan cara pendekatan advokasi, bukan terus keluar sana.
Meanwhile, a discussion with the police and RTD was made to uniformize the offences under Notice 114. Johor Police have uncovered a heroin processing laboratory and seized drugs worth 1.09 million ringgit in Iskandar Puteri on the 23rd of March. State Police Chief Dato' Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said in a special operation carried out at 2 p.m. at a rental house, a 36-year-old local man who acted as a chemist and runner was arrested. The man is believed to have been paid a salary of 10,000 ringgit a month to produce and distribute drugs to customers around Johor. Dato' Ayub Khan said, following the arrest of the man, the police also arrested 2 local women aged 34 and 35 in Temerloh, Pahang and Batu Gajah, Perak respectively.
Kasih saringan mendapati ketiga suspek negatif kepada sebarang jenis dadah, manakala mereka juga tidak ada sebarang rekod jenayah lampau. Modus operandi sindiket ini tuan adalah dengan menyewa rumah di kawasan gated dan guarded untuk dijadikan makmah memproses dadah dan beroperasi lebih kurang hampir setahun.
In the raid, police seized 57.83 kilograms of heroin worth over 640,000 ringgit, 4.53 kilograms of heroin base worth more than 420,000 ringgit, and 77.7 kilograms of caffeine worth around 26.5 thousand ringgit. Various equipment to process drugs were also seized, including 5 vehicles, a motorcycle, 16,430 ringgit of cash, various jewelleries, 24 watch straps and 15 bank accounts worth 473,000 ringgit. In a separate raid, Dato' Ayub Khan said a 31-year-old local man was also arrested on the 25th of March, also in Iskandar Puteri, with shabu and ketamine worth 347,000 ringgit. Urine test results revealed that the suspect was positive for methamphetamine and had 2 previous criminal records and 1 record of drug-related offences. All the suspects are being remanded until the 31st of March to facilitate investigations under Section 39B of Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. In sports, Shah Firdaus edges pocket rocketman for carrying gold at Aussie meet. National track cyclist Muhammad Shah Firdaus Sharum edged his senior and defending champion Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang for the men's carrying gold medal at the Australian National Track Cycling Championships today. Australia's Matthew Richardson finished 3rd at the Anna Meares Velodrome in Brisbane. Earlier in the first round, Azizul Hasni was the fastest when he crossed the line in 10.35 seconds in Heat 1, while Shah Firdaus won Heat 2, clocking 10.53 seconds. In last year's edition, held in December, Azizul Hasni, 33, emerged champion, while Shah Firdaus, 26, won the bronze. In the sprint events yesterday, Azizul Hasni and Shah Firdaus bagged the silver and bronze respectively, as the 22-year-old Richardson battered Azizul Hasni in the final for gold. Meanwhile, Azizul Hasni, who is better known as the Pocket Rocketman, reiterated that Shafirdaus has huge potential to win gold at the Tokyo Olympics in July. He added that Shafirdaus is a track cycling version of Malaysia's top men's singles shuttler Lee Jia. The national football squad has ended its centralised training camp in Johor Bahru today, 2 days earlier than scheduled. Harimau Malaya head coach Tan Cheng Ho said the 9-day camp was shortened to provide the players sufficient rest and prepare for their respective clubs as league matches are quite near. He said the absence of international friendly matches during the camp, which was held for the first time since November 2019, was also a factor in the decision. Cheng Ho was also happy to see positive reactions shown by players in the past week after not gathering for more than a year, apart from high commitment displayed despite facing a tight schedule of playing 5 Super League matches in 2 weeks before reporting themselves. Even though the camp was shortened, he said, they have achieved its objective of seeing the players still maintaining the pace, especially in terms of tactics and understanding the way the team play. The centralised training camp, which began on Monday, was to prepare Harimau Malaya for the 2022 World Cup, 2023 Asian Cup Group G qualifiers, which would be held in the United Arab Emirates in June. Malaysia, who are scheduled to resume the qualifying matches, which were affected for more than a year by the COVID-19 pandemic, will face UAE on the 3rd of June, followed by Vietnam 11th June and Thailand 15th June. That concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, electricity tariff and rebates to be revised every 6 months. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Cynthia Arthur. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.